It's time for another IMSA weekend, but this one will be very different from the previous 2024 rounds. IMSA is going to cross the border to Canada for the exciting event at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park as the 7th round of the season begins. So this is the race preview for the 2024 Chevrolet Grand Prix at CTMP. Now, heading into this race, one of the biggest factors is that the GTP class will not be here. This is a big change because GTP cars were here last year and the racing was great, so hopefully we see these incredible LMDH cars back at Mosport in the future. But the Chevrolet Grand Prix is one of two races this season where GTP cars are not present, the other race being the GT-only event at Virginia International Raceway. Because the GTP cars are not here, this means that the LMP2 class will become the headline category for IMSA, as the LMP2 cars will battle for overall victory. This race also marks the return for the LMP2 class in general to CTMP. For the last couple of years, the LMP2 class has not been present at the Canadian venue, and recently the secondary prototype category to GTP or DPI was the LMP3 class, which of course is no longer in the WeatherTech Championship. The last time LMP2 cars participated at CTMP was in 2019, and interestingly, an LMP2 car has actually taken overall victory here before. This happened in 2018 when American drivers Colin Braun and John Bennett took victory in the number 54 Core Autosports Oreca 07. It's also worth mentioning that IMSA is coming back from an exciting Sail-In 6 Hours of the Glen event, which was affected by a heavy downpour of rain. If you haven't already checked out my video on it, I highly recommend watching my race review for the Watkins Glen event in 2024, I'll link that in the description. But coming into this race, the number 7 Porsche Penske continues to lead the GTP Championship. The LMP2 class is currently led by the number 74 Riley Oreca 07 after a string of good results. The number 77 AO Racing Porsche continues to lead in GTD Pro, and after their successful run so far, Windward Racing continue to lead with their Mercedes AMG GT3 in the GTD class. Let's talk about the entry list now. At CTMP, the LMP2 class will feature 12 entries, GTD Pro will have 9, and finally GTD will have 14. All these entries combine to create a 35-car grid for the 2024 Chevrolet Grand Prix. One noticeable change compared to the full season grid, besides the fact of GTP, is that the number 81 Dragon Speed LMP2 will not be on the grid, hence the 12-car field in the LMP2 category. Considering the GTP class is not here at CTMP, some drivers from that category will actually be racing P2 machinery in this event. These drivers include Renger van der Zande in the number 8 Tower Motorsports entry, Felipe Albuquerque in the number 22 United car, then there's Pipo Derani in the number 88 AF Corsa LMP2 which won at Watkins Glen last time out, and finally it's Louis Delatraz in the number 99 AO Racing LMP2. Located near Bowmanville, Ontario, Canada, Mosport, or rather Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, has been around since the early 1960s. It was opened in June of 1961 and has held many motorsport events over the years, even including the F1 Canadian Grand Prix, when Formula 1 came here in the 1960s and 1970s. The first IMSA race at Mosport was held in 1975, when a Porsche 911 Carrera took overall victory. The track has continued to host endurance races even through the wonderful American Le Mans Series days. The last IMSA race here was dominated by the Acura ARX 06 in the GTP category, as Meyershank Racing took their second of 3 victories in 2023 with the number 60 Acura. Of course though, in 2024, we will definitely see a different winner as the GTP class is not here. The current variation of the track is FIA Grade 2, and has 10 turns that make up the 2.4 mile track, or almost 4 kilometers. The race lap record is still held by German racer Marco Werner from 2008, of a 1 minute 05.823, when he was driving the dominant Audi R10 TDI that year. I also want to mention that the GT balance of performance here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park sees the Ford Mustang GT3 as the lightest car out on track and the Mercedes-AMG GT3 as the heaviest. These were also the same cars that were the lightest and heaviest respectively out on track at Watkins Glen last time out. Now, it's very important to know that the main WeatherTech Sports Car Championship is not the only series that IMSA is bringing to CTMP this weekend. Alongside the main championship, IMSA is bringing 3 of their support series to CTMP. These series include the VP Racing Sports Car Challenge, the Michelin Pilot Challenge, and finally the Whelen Mazda MX-5 Cup. As for the main Chevrolet Grand Prix though, qualifying for the race will take place on Saturday, July 13th, and the broadcast will start at 3:55 p.m. and go until about 4:40 p.m. local time. The race will take place on Sunday, July 14th, and the broadcast for the 2-hour and 40-minute event will begin at 11 o'clock a.m. and go until about 2 o'clock p.m. local time. Here's how you can watch the 2024 CTMP race live. If you're living in the United States of America, the race will be broadcasted on the Peacock streaming service. For those outside of the US, it will be live on IMSA TV or on IMSA's official YouTube channel. If watching live is not an option though, IMSA will put the full race on their YouTube channel later on, which I'll link in the description. I will also cover the event with a race review later on the channel. So that completes the race preview for the 2024 Chevrolet Grand Prix. Now that the GTP cars are not here at CTMP, which car do you think will take overall victory? Well, let me know all your thoughts down in the comments. Thanks for watching. For more content on endurance racing such as the WEC and IMSA, consider subscribing if you haven't already. On screen, you'll find some suggested videos to watch next. For now though, that's it for me. You'll hear from me next in the following video.